All right, I want to welcome you to another episode of Rise of 1% podcast, where you're going to discover the tools, the insights, the strategies to dominate and get into the top 1% of your industry. I am G Bass, and I'm definitely extremely excited about today's episode. I got one of my guys that I've been knowing for a while now here in the studio with us here at the Rise of 1% podcast today. It's the Doniel Lovely. Pretty much, he's a tax-free retirement coach.
That's right.
Doing some big things. And I'm excited to have you on, brother. Welcome to the Rise 1% podcast.
I appreciate you having me on, man. Thanks, guys, man. We've been rocking for a while, man. But I just wanted to reconnect with you guys and, man, just bring some insight to your audience, man.
Absolutely. Appreciate you. So, Daniel, let's start from the beginning, though. So pretty much you was born in Detroit. Let's talk a little bit about your upbringing a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm the oldest of three, right? I have two sisters, and we moved from Detroit back in 2000, and we moved from Detroit down to Memphis, Tennessee, and that's kind of where I finished out my last couple of years of high school, and kind of started into adulthood, in there. So I went to college for auto body repair, so I was out there painting the flip-flop colors in the cars and got certifications with that, and made a little money right out of high school, painting cars and fixing body work and things like that. And then I just kind of transitioned into working in warehouses and things like that, because I got tired of my hands getting cut up and stuff like that. So I kind of transitioned to some of that. Yeah. Stayed there for a while, and then I had met a female to say, hey, why don't you go back to college, figure out something else to do in case, you get laid off or something like that and you have something to fall back on. Yeah. I was like, I'm always falling back on my hands. That's number one, right? Yeah. And so, but I did. I actually got into IT and technology, and then I kind of, got my degree in that, got a bachelor's in that, and finished that. And I love technology because of everything that we do. And so when I finally went to move to Atlanta, because I had met my fiance, which was my wife right now, and that's when we actually met you guys, because we got into the co-working space when it first, before everybody in co-working spaces, how that was, and got a lot of information, a lot of training, a lot of insights on business, and we had multiple businesses we was been a part of over the couple of years in the multi-level industry, and so we learned a lot. We learned how to communicate, we learned how to talk. So a lot of the things that I did do from there was always a lesson for me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so those lessons translate into, now we're getting into the financial services industry, where I learned that from being around that environment, get into the tax industry. And so been in there for about 8 years in the tax industry, doing tax return, help building the team, helping people. And then I quit my full-time job back in 2017 and never worked for somebody ever since. And so that has been an eye-opener for me. And just because I was able to do it, that was like a scary part, because bro, you comfortable, you know what I'm saying? You in IT, you doing things, you comfortable, why would you? I was working for Georgia State at the time, I was but I seen the drop of, my first drop in the tax industry was $27,000, and that was in like a month and a half. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm like, hold on. What about, I'm like, I ain't making but $2,000 a month, and I already got a check for $27,000. I'm like, oh, I got to go. I got to pull this all the way in. And then I just went from there, and then, the next year I made my first 6 figures in it, and then, just going from there, and then building the teams, and then going from one city to another city, trying to train other people how to do it. And so over the last couple of years, I've been a part of different organizations in the tax industry, teaching other people how to be able to structure their business right, especially with systems, automation. I still got my IT background, right? Yeah. And so I understand how systems, workflow, processes goes, procedures go, being in compliant, and never getting audited, and what to do if you do get audited. So have a lot of people I've been coaching from that perspective, and being able to show them how to build their business. And I have one guy now, he hit his first $1 million in tax industry, just by a lot of things that we have leveraged. Because before he didn't, he was a guy that's like, I'm not working in my warehouse, I'm gonna do this, but I want to do something else. And he was in some of our industries that we was part of before, and he was like, I'm like, bro, this right here is the money, you know what I'm saying? And so he got into it, we trained up a couple of years, now he went on his own, and so he's making his own way. And that right there allows me to be able to give back and be able to say, yeah, this thing that people need to know. And my whole suggestion is just educating us on stuff we never knew. Like I never knew anything about how taxes work. I would just fill out the form and give it into you, wondering like if I'm gonna get a refund or not. You know what I'm saying? And so when I understand the tax code is written for business owners and not employees, well, I read a lot of times. If I knew that there's different ways to use to structure your business to get funding, one of them, right? There's different ways, different codes that you need to put as a business owner to be able to fill out a credit application and they deny you. Why they deny you? Because you got a red flag business on your head, like you got a credit repair business, you got a tax service business. Instead of having like whatever your name consulting services or whatever your name solutions, you named it whatever you did. You know what I'm saying? So that eliminated you from the jump, and you don't know these things. And said I actually had to go and train and learn how to be able to structure a business correctly, how to be able to get people to get funding, how to be able to use the tax code to be able to write off over $400,000 worth of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And in the industry now, fast forward into now, I done got my insurance license, so I'm licensed in about 7 different states on life insurance, health insurance, and annuities. And so I'm learning the annuity game now. I didn't even know about positioning yourself to become have your own pension plans, right? You have your own retirement accounts, tax free. How did that work? Use different things. So that's kind of the journey I've been taking in the last few years, man, and it's just been everlasting, always learning for me. You know what I'm saying? That's all I like to do.
Gotcha. Let's go back to when you were saying the tax code are for business owners.
Yes.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah. So here's how I explain to people about the tax code. Right. The government wants to be your partner, or they're going to be your partner. So what I'm trying to say is either you're going to contribute to things that they want you to do. They make the code for business owners to create housing, to create jobs, to create incentives for like energy, solar energy. People doing these electric cars now. There are credits for people to start electric car businesses. The apps and the technology, research and development. If you're building an app and you're creating an app, you have different credits for those things. So if you're going to do that, they're going to be partners with you and they're going to pay the bill. Or they're going to be partners with you and they're going to take their cut. Right? So meaning if you just working a job and you making a W-2 before you get paid, your partner wants his cut first.
Right.
So they're going to be your partners or they're going to be your partners, right? And so you just got to figure out which way you want to go, right? You want to take advantage of it, let them, fit the bill in form of deductions and credits, or you're going to fit the bill by having this bill come at the end of the year and you have to pay them. Right? And so, once you shift from that perspective, and we all know the cash flow quadrant, that's one of the things that we go back to. You got the E in the S or the B and the I.
Right.
You want to be on the left hand or the right hand side of the quadrant. And so, the more you get to the business and the individuals, that's the better the tax code is for you.
Interesting. In terms of your perspective, like the way you just put it,
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about this too. Hey, I know you was talking a little bit about how the business should be structured in terms of getting funding and stuff. You want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, man. And so one of the things that people don't know, and there's every business industry has what's called a NIC code, right? And the NIC code tells the IRS how to classify your business, right? Whether it's in transportation, whether it's in art or commercial or residential or retail, whatever it is, there has a specific code. So when you go to register your business, they're gonna ask you, what are your business? What are your services? What it is? And most people, they name their business what their services is. Instead of putting themselves in a box, right?
Yeah.
Instead of being able to have it as open as possible where the company that you're trying to get money for don't see you as a risk. Right? So there are certain industries out here that banks already got red flags on your list.
Right.
It's over 100 or something different entities or companies that automatically are gonna be red flag. We ain't funding that business. Trucking, they ain't not funding it.
Right.
Credit repair, they not funding it.
Yeah.
Tax prep, they not funding it. You know what I'm saying? Massage therapists, high risk businesses, they not funding it.
Yeah.
Cannabis, they not funding it. But if you say I'm a whatever solutionservice.com or Solution LLC. Well, now you restructure your business into a consulting service. And now you open yourself up for funding. Just that one tactic to taking yourself from a commoditized or person that actually did what they did to now being a consultant, and you get funding for that all day long.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the difference. And that's why I've been teaching my clients a lot of time to get shit. I just look at you and say, hey, we're gonna actually try to get you funding. This is what we gotta get doing. And a lot of people don't understand their address. Another reason that affects your funding, right? Yeah. If you may be working from home, but you don't have if you got a home address and they go pull up the address, they gonna do it. They gonna like, oh, you at the house. We ain't gonna fool with you. Exactly. If we do, we gonna fool you based on what your credit score is, but not your actual business funding. Yeah. Structure like that. Right. And so you gotta set that up properly. Yeah. You got your business is at geraldbass@gmail. They gonna be serious about that? No. No. You know what I'm saying? You know, your phone number is your cell phone number. Right. No, you ain't got no 1-800 number. You ain't got none of these things set up. So I help these people set these things up. I help them get funding, and then once you get the money, people don't know what to do with it. Do you know that, man? Right. You know they don't know what to do with that money. Yeah. The perfect example is all this PPP stuff that people have. Now, you really knew what to do with that PPP money, everybody would be rich. Right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody would have been rich, bro. Bro, you would be in 20, 30, 40,000. They was just giving it away. Yeah. And when they had that was just 2 years ago. Yeah. Where the money at? Is it the Louis store? Yeah. Is it the car lot? Exactly. Is it the house? Exactly. Is it the restaurants? Yeah. It's in them clothes and them shoes for the kids. Yeah. It's on these trips to these BBLs and everything. It's all over there. That's where the money went. Yeah. But if you didn't know what to do with the money, you could have took half of that money, put it inside of an annuity, bro, and you still could get money off of that money. And then you could have built that money and say, okay, I got $30,000 or $50,000. They gave me a 3% interest rate, bro. Yeah. On the PPP loan, they gave me a 3%. I'm getting 5 on my annuity. I'm making money, and they paying the money back for me. It's these strategies that people don't know. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And this is the things that my business and what I do is actually being able to teach and coach and train business owners. Right. To use the things for their advantage, man. Yeah. Because, again, perfect example, they don't know. Yeah. And I didn't know that they didn't know, because I didn't know. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, whoa, why people don't know? Because they don't know. They're not into these classes. They don't have people that they can reach out to making $2 million, $3 million. You know, and the people that do make $2, $3 million, they don't know what to do with it. You know? You know how many people that still making a couple million that say they make million, but they got tax bills out the wall. You know what I'm saying? And so those things is like, wow. It's like a whole market that people don't know a lot of this stuff. Yeah. And so when you start really getting into people's business, you know, when they come to me, they gotta be transparent. I gotta see it all, because I'm gonna tell you exactly what you're doing. And some people get ashamed or you know, complacent when they say, well, you know, I make this, but it's looking like this, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to taxes. So, you know, it's just about education, man. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about that, Daniel, like some of the tax-free retirement strategies. You want to dive a little deeper into that? Yeah, man, like, you know, just help. Again, one of the things is making sure your business is structured properly, right? If you're a single member, like an LLC or something like that, you're going to be, you know, disregarded. And so if I say people who are making over 40,000 net, you want to switch over from an LLC to an S corp. Why? Because you have more tax benefits. The code opens up, and now you can give yourself payroll and things like that. And so that's another strategy. Again, you know, you have that strategy. You have what's called appreciation. I tell a lot of people that work and that's making 6 figures on a job, man, get an Airbnb, man, and now we can circulate that money that you're making, that you're paying in taxes, to the business laws that you have on your Airbnb. Because you're gonna have everyday expenses. You gotta have the cleaning, you gotta have the fees, you gotta have, you know, your rent, your mortgage. All these things offset your W-2. Yeah. And so now, instead of having to give IRS the money, they're gonna be your partners in the deductions and credits. So now you can put that money, the same money that you're gonna be making anyway, but you just moving where you're putting it in, and you can actually have the best of both worlds with that strategy. Yeah, gotcha. That makes sense. Talk a little bit more about the whole life insurance, like putting the money into like life insurance, the annuities, the benefits behind it.
things of that nature?
Yeah, so like I said, I just got into the life insurance about over a year ago now, and still learning every single day. But the most important part of it is protection, right? We want to protect our family, but not only that. Did you know that you can use life insurance while you're living?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people don't know that, right? It's called living benefits. If you get a car wreck, an accident, a heart attack, a stroke, you can pull up to 90% of your policy out to your everyday expenses. So, so that's another benefit to be able to have those things. Not only, just people just think, well, I ain't leaving nobody nothing. It's not about that. It's about being able to structure yourself where you can actually protect your house, protect your family, and also protect your children, right?
Yeah.
And now, another benefit of a life insurance, if you structure it properly, it avoids probate. You see what I'm saying? And so you don't have to, Chadwick Boseman had an issue. So you had Chadwick Boseman, Aretha Franklin, Michael Jackson, all these people had all this money. They didn't have no life insurance, no will, no trust, no nothing. And so it's been in probate for years. And so if you do happen to have something to happen to you, you don't have a will, you don't have a probate, a life insurance policy will give that money right to those people automatically. You know what I'm saying? So it bypassed the whole process of being able to do that stuff. And also it allows you now, while you're living, to grow money in cash, almost like a savings account inside that policy. So those are some of the things that I've learned and been able to teach a lot of people. You can also have, again, protection against your health. Also, in case something happens to you, you can use it while you're living, and it actually can grow cash value as well if you structure it properly.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. You, what's your thoughts on infinite banking?
Yeah, I get this all the time. This is one of the things that a lot of people out here talking about.
Yeah.
If you got the money for it, that's what it is. There's people that got some money that they can put into it. Can't put it in for the banking if you got $50. It's just like, right? It's just not, because you have to what's called overfund those policies to make it do what it do. Because the first 1 to 5 years, your policy is growing, right? You're paying a lot more towards the principal, and then you're actually making sure that as it grows, then it compounds from that. So how that works, you have a zero floor. What that means, you can never lose your money, but it also, you can actually, your money just grows. And according to the stock market, the stock market's up, you can get it up. You have a ceiling though of maybe like an 8 or 10%. But then if it goes below zero, you don't never lose. Okay? And so that's one of the benefits. But again, it's for a long having. It's for people to have at least, I say, if you don't have at least $1,500 a month to put in something like that, that's not for you. Now we have other things that works the same way that you can use to actually have a $50 a month or whatever that actually still grow with the guaranteed income. But you still want to make sure you consult with somebody to see exactly what's up for your family and your budget and things like that. But yeah, with that infinite banking stuff, if you ain't got the money for it, man, don't try to put $100 a month talking about you trying to do some infinite banking strategy and all that kind of. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit more as well about trust?
Yeah. And so, what a trust is, it's the type of entity, right? And so you can put your house in your trust, you can put all your assets in your trust. And that's one of the things Sam Walton did when he first tried to buy all that land in Florida, because they wasn't just gonna sell it to him, right?
Yeah.
And so he had a bunch of different trusts that was buying different lands. No one knew who it was, and at the end of the day, he has what we know is now is Walt Disney World. And so he used that and took a life insurance policy out on the land that he had, and the rest is history. But trust is basically, again, the benefit of it circumvents probate. Is actually has what's called a trustee. And you have members of the trust. So you can have your family, your friend, and now what the Rockefellers did, they have a trust, and the trust is the trustee. And so every time a family member is born into that particular family, that particular member gets a life insurance policy added, and the trust becomes the beneficiary. So when the older people die, the money goes back into the trust and replenishes it. And so when you actually utilize that strategy, now that's when your banking come in, because now you have the money in the policy to borrow from, tax-free, and now you go to the trustee board and say, hey, I'm 18, I want to buy a $300,000 multi-family house or apartment building, and I need $50,000. Well, trust right there. Trust got 40, 50 million in it.
Yeah.
Go to the trustee board, got your property, now you 18 a millionaire. because you use it from the trust of the family. So that builds generation after generation after generation, utilizing that, what they call the waterfall method. You know, and so, you know, we just not, man, we 400 years behind. But so we gotta learn how to put our money into places where it's gonna build instead of stuff that people want to see, right? I know everybody want to be flashy and cute, and you know, everybody want to be bosses, but the real bosses are the ones that got assets and not liabilities, right? Or they can turn their liability into an asset if they understand how to use strategies right. So that's it.
Gotcha. Hey, let's just pause for a moment. What if I was to tell you that you could take lead generation completely off your plate this year in 2024? What if I was to tell you that it was a way for you to get an efficient, consistent, and predictable client acquisition system in place for your business this year in 2024? You see, over the last 7 years, I've helped Black coaches, consultants, course creators, and service providers literally be able to pack their calendars with qualified appointments. We have clients as well that we've helped scale up to 20,000 plus a month in under 60 days without even spending any money on paid advertising. So this year, if you're looking to take lead generation completely off your plate and get an efficient, consistent, and predictable client acquisition system in place for your business and be able to scale up your company's revenue, profit, and impact, it's going to be a link right here in this video that you actually want to go over to, and you actually can schedule a 45-minute call with me. We'll get on the call, find out a little bit more about where you are in your business, what you're looking to accomplish this year, and put a custom tailored strategy in place to help you scale up your company this year in 2024. Go ahead and go to the link right here. Go to the link right here in this video and schedule a call. With that said, let's get back to the episode.
This is some great stuff, man. Some great stuff.
Was it good, man?
Yeah,
man. Like I said, I've been learning, man, and just implementing a lot of this stuff, man. And so, like I said, a lot of my clients that I be working with, you know, they don't believe it sometimes. They don't believe it because I'm like, okay, we gotta, you know, do this. And then when I start getting them funded, they were like, oh wow, yeah, you get me funded. But then I say, oh, now I get you funded, but then what you do, right? And I'm like, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Now you don't know what to do with it. That's on you.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that's it, man. But like teaching financial literacy is one of the things that I really enjoy doing, and mostly the younger people, man. Because they like people make a lot of money right now. And I don't know if it's just because of social media or what it is, but they don't know what to do with it. I mean, they really don't. They just spending it up and not setting anything aside, and then they get these big tax bills at the end of the year looking crazy.
Yeah.
Like some people, you know, they made, I make $40,000 a month, okay. But how much money have you put aside for your tax liability? Or what strategy you do so you won't have to pay money, right? They don't know. And so if they don't know, your partner gonna come and holler at you. I need my profit, man. I need my cut, man. I need my cut. It ain't 20%, but it's more than that. I need about 40 of that, half of that. I need to give me that. But you ain't got it. Okay, no problem. We're gonna come get the rest of whatever you get, man. And you really don't want to mess with that part. They like the mob, you know. They gonna they gonna put an interest and double on that, right? Oh no, just pay me next time. It's gonna be triple, you know. Triple. Okay. I'm like, God, dog, really?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
crazy.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, yeah, Doniel, this has been a great conversation, man.
Oh yeah, I appreciate you.
Absolutely. You have anything else you want to share that we didn't go over? Or we ready to wrap?
Oh man, no. Like I said, if you guys are out here and you're actually looking to get some help with your business, you're looking to have an actual strategy to now, tax season is now, and you can't do nothing from last year, but you can do something starting this way. Just reach out to me. You can find me on all my socials. Inbox me. My email is info@refundtaxsolutions.com. You can find me on my website for DonielLovely.com or in Doniel Fitzgerald on Facebook and Doniel Lovely on the Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah, we'll put it in the description and the show notes. Yeah, definitely. Okay, great stuff. Well, definitely appreciate you again. It's been a great
conversation, a lot of new insights from financial literacy
I appreciate it.
standpoint. Definitely appreciate you coming
No problem,
through and dropping these gems.
I know you always give your your readers, your viewers value, so I just wanted to make sure I add some value to y'all.
Absolutely. Appreciate you. Yes. And definitely, being you got some value out of this, I don't see how you couldn't. Doniel definitely dropped some gems. Definitely make sure you bang the like button if you're watching this on YouTube as well. Drop any of your biggest takeaways in the comments below, or if you have any questions, drop them in the comments as well, or you can contact Doniel's information to be in the description, the show notes. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We'll be dropping a lot more great episodes like this. And also, we are on Apple and Spotify, so you can look us up there if you like to listen to audios while you're driving or while you're doing different things. You like to listen to audios, just go to Apple or Spotify and type in the Rise to 1% podcast. This episode is on there as well. And then you're listening to it there, you got value, give us a 5-star rating. Also leave us a great review. And also feel free to share this around with anyone else you feel could benefit. Until next time, have a great one on purpose.